They said you wanted to see me, Coach?
Yeah, man. Step on up into my office. It's HomeSpun Sports with Coach John Montgomery. Sports talk with a twist of down-home wisdom. Welcome. And I hope you had a happy new year. You tuned in to HomeSpun Sports. It's sports talk with a twist of down-home wisdom. I am your host, the coach, John Montgomery. I'm in H-Town, way up there in good old Houston, Texas. I hear it's cold up there, Slim. What's up, man?
I ain't in Houston, Coach. I'm in Oklahoma, and yeah, it's cold. It was 19 degrees today. I'm good, though. What's going on with you?
Oh, Slim, but it's cold in H-Town, but I'm raring to go. Ladies and gentlemen, our very special guest is one of my favorite people in the whole wide world. I met this man in 1987, and his life blesses me still. In 1987, he led the University of Nevada, Las Vegas. He led Division I in rushing his senior year at UNLV, and then went on in his rookie year in the National Football League, 1988, to giving the Cincinnati Bengals a Super Bowl berth in Super Bowl 23. And in the history of the National Football League, there have been only 3 rookies to lead the NFL in yards per carry. Barry Sanders, Adrian Peterson, and our very special guest. Ladies and gentlemen, please make welcome my good and dear friend, Albert Icky Woods.
What's up, Coach? What's up, Mildred? How y'all doing, man?
Can't call it, Coach. Can't call it. How you doing, Icky?
Oh, man, I'm doing lovely today, man. My boys just took down them Chiefs. I'm feeling real good right about now. Real good. Won our division, man. I'm ecstatic, man. I'm just so happy for the city, man. So happy for the Bengals team, man. And, you know, just for those guys to try to get back on top. They had a great showing today over those Kansas City Chiefs.
And you right there in the middle of all that. I know you were.
You know I was. All had to have my big B on. Boy, I was rooting for them, and they went on out there and got it done, man. It was great to see.
Good clinch. Good clinch.
Icky, I'm telling you, with that roster that they put together up there, your quarterback, Joe Burrow, the wide receiver, the kid from LSU you took in the first round. I'm telling you, man, you guys stop some people. Joe Mixon in that backfield. You guys stop some people. You clinched today.
Yeah.
You clinched today. And let me tell you, man, I wouldn't count the Bengals out. I wouldn't count them out.
Oh, they got a good nucleus down there, man. The Chiefs was running all on us and passing all on us in the first half. They put up 28 points in the first half, and the defense clamped down on them. They scored 3 points in the second half. Wow. So, you know, the defense adjusted and got it done, man. So it was very, very exciting to see.
You know, and you mentioned the big thing. You know, everybody knows about Joe Burrow and that offense. But when it gets time to make a run for the tournament and getting those playoffs, just like you did in the year when you guys in the Bengals, you know, there was that defense. When that defense is playing well, if you can score, man, you got a chance to go a long way.
You know that old saying, Coach, defense win championships now.
That it does. So again, Matt, just thank you for being, our guest star on show number 19. And again, congratulations on the huge clinch over Cincinnati, 34-31. Your iconic Icky Shuffle has been on fast food commercials. It's been in cartoons and TV shows all across America. I want to know though, how did you come up with that celebration dance?
Well, I tell you, Slim, I actually flew my mom in for a game against the Cleveland Browns, and me and my two oldest kids at the time were they were 2 and 5. And I just got up, man. I was listening to some music, and I just got up and started acting silly. And I was like, Mom, if I score tomorrow, this is what I'm going to do. She's like, boy, you better not do that. I was like, Mom, I got to. So I scored, and then I just kind of jumped in the air and put my hands in between my legs like that. And Ricky Dixon, who was our first-round draft choice, he was like, Woods, what is that? I said, well, man, that's my celebration dance. Quick was like, oh, man, that thing is whack, man. That thing is whack. I was like, what you mean, Rick? It was whack. He was like, if that was whack, I said, what you think I ought to do? You think I ought to put some steps to it? He was like, yeah, Ick, man, put some steps to it. So, Slim, I thought the whole week, man, what can I do? And I couldn't think of nothing, Slim. And then 5 minutes before it was time to go out, Slim, I said, Rick, check this out. This is what I did, Slim. I got up and I said,
oh, no, you ain't finna do it.
This is what I'm going to do. I told him, this is what I'm going to do tomorrow if I score.
Yo.
1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. And I'm going to hop back 3 times and spike the ball. And he was like, oh, Ick, man, that thing going to be live. It's going to be live. And I tell everybody, Slim, I just happened to be in the right place at the right time. By the grace of God, we were winning ball games, and we made it to the Super Bowl, man. It was fun to see it. Then after I did it, the next home game, it was all in the newspaper, the steps, how to do it, and everything, man. It just took off, bro. I was very, very fortunate to be in the right place at the right time.
Well,
no, for sure,
Icky, you can do a Geico commercial about it 35 years after you did it.
After the fact, yes.
Yeah. That's marketing. That's marketing right there. That's marketing. All right, so Fresno, California.
Hello.
The Black and Gold Tigers of Edison High School. How did you get from Fresno, California to Nevada, Las Vegas? And when was the first time you met my dad?
Oh, well, let me tell you, Slim. I came back from I went home for vacation, and I came back and I heard Dad and I was running late, Slim. I was hard, knucklehead. Always came back, late. It was like Tuesday, and I was supposed to be back on Monday. So I'm sitting in the lunchroom, and Slim, I always wear my little hat cocked to the side like that, and I'm in there eating. And this guy come up to me and say, son, take that hat off. And I look up at him. I don't know him from Adam, Slim. I don't know who he is. And it must have been he seen a look on my face. I was just going to give him a couple of words. And he said, I'm John Montgomery, the new running back coach. I said, oh, okay, coach. So he said, well, boy, I want to see you in my office in 15 minutes. And, I just sat down to eat, so I had to scarf my food down. And I went over there, and I ran to his office, and we sat down, and he told me, he said, son, I heard a lot of bad things about you. He said, but I'm not going to even take that into account. We're going to start here from square one. Good I just want to ask you one question. And I said, yes, sir. He said, do you want to play in the NFL? And I kind of looked at him, and I said, well, coach, every young player. I said, yes, coach, every young player wants to play in the NFL.
Right.
He said, well, I'll tell you what. I give you my word right here. If you give me 110%, I guarantee you be a first, second round draft choice.
Yeah.
When I looked at him And I said, man, who is this cat? This cat blowing smoke up me. I didn't know him for Adam, but I ain't had nothing to lose, Slim. I said, okay, coach, I'm going to take you up on that. And he said, okay, son, you just do what I tell you to do, and you give me 110%. I make sure you be a first or second round draft choice. Mildred, I'm here to tell you, son, I was the first player taken in the second round. Thanks to that man sitting right there, man. Love him to this day for that, just coming in and show that he believed in me as an individual and not a football player, man. I think that made all the difference in the world.
Yes, sir.
Slim, let me tell you, this guy, if his story lets you know that there's a God somewhere. Let me tell you. First of all, understand this. First of all, I got to give mad props to Jackie Sherrill. Hadn't been for Jackie Sherrill. Because Jackie Sherrill flew me out to interview for the job for the second time. I don't even really knew if Wayne Nunley, then the head coach at Nevada, Las Vegas, really wanted to hire me. I'm not looking back on it. He probably didn't. He probably hired me because he didn't want to disappoint Jackie Sherrill. So, but now I'm out there for my second interview, and we having dinner at TGIF Fridays, Icky, right off Flamingo Boulevard, off the strip in Vegas.
Yeah.
And we sitting there having an interview, and the head coach, Wayne Nunley, he goes, I'm not saying I'm going to hire you, but if I hire you, it's going to be a guy in your group. He's going to be in your position group, the running backs, and he ain't done diddly squat for 3 years. He ain't done nothing for 3 years. Everybody on the staff wants him gone. He said, but for some reason, I like this kid. He said, he don't know I like him, but I like him. And I'm telling you now, he told me, he says, I'm telling you now, if I hire you, you can do whatever you got to do to try to get him straightened out, except don't run him off. I do not want him run off. So basically, I'm stuck with this guy. Whatever. Basically, I'm stuck. But he ain't lying. First time we met, he comes in the dining hall, and I know about the reputation of Icky Woods. I know about his reputation. So I didn't know who he was. He had this, and you didn't tell him about that matted Jerry curl you had on your head, and them jam shorts that came down about at your knee length, and some wore out Chuck Taylors, and a beanie cap turned to the side on his head. And I told him, I'd take that hat off. And if looks could kill, I'd be stiff with a tag on my toe. Because he gave me one of them go make love to yourself looks. just so that's how we got started.
Okay.
Yeah. But man, what a senior year it was. The coaching profession is a people business, and this man is one of my favorite people. He ain't talking about football, business, whatever, kin folks. This man right here is one of my favorite people.
Hey, but let me tell you another story, Mildred. We had practice, and I didn't come to practice this day. He told me, So he come to the house, and I was rooming with John Nunley, who's another running back. We were roommates, and he said, "Hey, that's Coach Montgomery out there." I was like, "Oh man!" I said, "Well, tell him I ain't here." So he tell Coach he ain't there. I ain't there. So he come in. He said, "Well, I'm gonna sit here till he come home then." So I was like, oh. I was like, what you got? What you gonna do, man? What you gonna do? So I take the screen off the window, and we had a little plannery thing. I jumped down off that. I jumped down, and I come upstairs, and he say, "Son, I need to talk to you." So we go back to my room. We get back to my room. I flip the light on, Mildred. The screen sitting right there. And I was like, "Oh man, I'm busted." I say, he busted me. So he say, "Son, I told you I got a plan A and a plan B. I see you want me to bring my plan B out." He said, "But I'll see you on Monday." And Mildred, I tell you what, man, practice got over Monday. I was heading out that gate. He said, "Icky Woods, come over here, boy." Mildred, he took me up to this hill, That thing had to go up about 4 or 5 stories up in the air. He had me bear crawl up that sucker, lay on my side, and roll down that some gun. Mildred, I never missed another practice, another meeting, nothing, boy.
Yeah, you only need to do that one time.
That's all it took for me one time, bro. I wasn't doing that no more.
There was a when you come, UNLV is on Maryland Parkway. When you're turning in on Maryland Parkway's campus, there was a convenience store there called the AMPM. Remember that store?
Yeah.
AMPM Mart convenience store. They used to have a fast food restaurant in there, and they had hamburgers 2 for $1. Now, by the time the season got rolling, Slim, Icky done lost all his dining hall privileges. They done put him out the dining hall. He can't eat in the dining hall. So he would come to my office, okay? I give him $5. I said, go around there to the AMPM and get $5 in hamburgers and buy one USA Today. So he had, USA Today then cost 50 cents. So he had $4.50 to buy hamburgers and a USA Today. And I'm telling you, that was our ritual Monday through Friday through the 1987 football season. He'd come back to my office with that sack of hamburgers and the USA Today. And we would sit there in my office, just he and I, for maybe about an hour, hour and a half, and we never talked X's and O's. We talked life. I got to know him as a man. He got to know me as a man. And we look at that and read the USA Today. Now, he didn't call the fire, okay? He's starting to buy in. I told him, I said, you got talent. You got to learn the difference between ability and dependability, okay? You got talent, okay? Nobody trusts you. You ain't got no dependability.
Right.
So, but now he's starting to kind of get it and come around. We played Baylor. He put 130. He missed the first game of the season, Southwest Louisiana. Because oh, my chest hurt. My chest hurt. I said, okay. We
No, coach. I played, but I didn't block for a day.
Okay.
And you said you was hurt.
But Slim, that was on the road. That game was on the road.
Okay.
So the home opener was Baylor. Oh, he ready to shine for home. Mom in the stands, kin folks in the stands. Oh, he bucking like a show horse. He ready to go. I told Wayne Nunley, set his ass on that pine. Do not start him. Whoo, smoke shot out of his ears when he found out he wasn't starting. So, and we hanging in there at home against Baylor, coming down the ramp, going out on the field for the second half. I said, turn him loose. And he was mad and angry and meant to show the world that he could play. And brother did he. He put 135 yards on Baylor in the second half on 10 carries.
I was hot, boy. If Mildred looked a kill on that day, he'd be dead again, Mildred. I said, I can't believe it. And that wasn't the kicker, though. The kicker was he started a sophomore over me. And it was my senior year.
And I told you then, I don't need you to win 4 games. You sit your behind right here on this bench. If I can't depend on you, if this team can't depend on you, then you're going to sit here on this bench. I don't have to have you, but you want to play on Sunday, you're going to learn to do it my way, like I tell you. But he started to buy in, man. And I never will forget this. He came to my office and said, this is our ritual. That sack of hamburgers, if $4.50 bought 6 hamburgers, I give him 5 of them. I read the USA Today and I eat 1 of them. And we just sat there and talk about life. And with 4 games left into the season, he came in my office and he had a grin on his face that wide. That wide. I said, what's wrong with you? He said, Coach, I'm nationally ranked. He done read the sports page. He said, look here, he the top 20 in D1 rushing. I'm number 11 right now. So I said, well, man, I'm mighty proud of you, boy. I said, you breaking ground. Nobody knew of you. Mildred, now you understand something. Freshman, sophomore, junior year combined 521 yards combined.
Right.
So he says, but coach, I'm nationally ranked, man. He said, I tell you what, man, I'm finna go get dressed. I see you on the practice field. Let me know what it's gonna take to win that. I think I'm gonna win that. Yeah. Go and figure out what it's gonna take for me to win the Division I rushing title. I looked at that joke. I said, boy, you done lost your mind.
Go do the math. Go do the math.
So practice was over. He saw me walking to my car going home. He said, I'm counting on you now. I'll come by and get the money for the hamburgers, and you let me know tomorrow. I said, you okay, buddy? And I went home, got to doodling with it, figuring on it. And I came back, I said, 4 games left. And I knew that the top 2 was Thurman Thomas at Oklahoma State and Craig Ironhead Hayward from the University of Pittsburgh. Those 2 guys, and I looked at who Pitt had to play and who Oklahoma State had to play and who we had to play. So the next day, he come to my office. I said, for you to win this, you're going to need to average around 230 to 240 yards a game. I said, but you've had a heck of a senior year. You probably going to have a chance to play in the NFL. He said, no, coach, I'm going to win this. And I tell you why I say this guy's life blesses me still. He told me in that little meeting, he said, just me and him. He said, coach, have faith. He said, have faith. Yeah. He said, because I'm fixing to win this. I see you on the field. He took off. Well, he did. I tell you what, we playing Las Cruces, New Mexico State, and he had a lousy first half, being soft at the point of attack. We had a little code between us. Hard for 5 does what, Icky?
Break it for 50.
Hard for 5 will get you 50.
Yeah, break it for 50.
So he was being soft on looking down the field, trying to see where he was going instead of pitching a fit for the first 5 yards. Hard for 5 will get you what?
Get you 50.
Hard for 5.
Hard for 5 will get you 50, baby.
Get you a good start. So we going in the tunnel at halftime. He comes up to me. He said, I ain't doing too good, am I? I said, hell no, you ain't doing no good. I said, you being soft. You being soft at the point of attack. I told you, hard for 5 will get you 50. Get off the ball. Second half, 185 yards on 15 carries.
That's hard for 5 right there, coach.
Yes, sir.
Many times.
Yes, sir.
I told him, I said, give them a fist fight, son. They want a fist fight, and you slap boxing. Give them a fist fight. And boy, did he give him a fist fight. He told me, he said, I said, coach, I'm bringing you out. He said, no, don't leave me. He said, I get 250 in. He said, they done had enough of the extra.
Oh, the extra, yeah.
But no, a phenomenal talent, and he walked his talk, Icky, and I want to thank you for that. That I say your life blesses me still. You know, people talk. This guy came into my office with 4 games left into the season and told me, I am going to win the Division I rushing crown. And he did it. And I never will forget that, partner.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Well,
So,
man,
like I said, if it wasn't for you, I wouldn't be where I'm at either, man. Because like I said, the first 3 years there, I didn't do nothing. You came in. You didn't come in barking at me. You came in and showed that you cared about me as an individual and a person instead of a football guy or a number. You know, you came in and wholeheartedly, you know, showed me you cared about me, and that's what I needed.
Well, hey, man. Ick, the Bengals are headed somewhere you've been.
Yeah.
And man, I never will forget how you sent for me. I was coaching at Southern the next year, offensive coordinator at Southern, your rookie year with the Bengals, and you called me and said, Coach, you know we're gonna play in the AFC Championship. We're playing the Buffalo Bills in the AFC Championship, and we win that, we're going to the Super Bowl. And how ironic that we could be doing this show. I know that's not irony, that's the grace of God that we were shooting this show, the Cincinnati Bengals, on the same day that the Cincinnati Bengals, your former team, would earn a playoff spot you one of the greatest Bengals of all time. Talk about the '88 season and where the Bengals went, and link that to the Bengals now and where they're trying to go.
Well, the '88 was my rookie year, so I came in and I came in with something to prove because I led the nation in rushing my senior year, and I didn't do nothing before that. So, and the Bengals had come off a year where they were 4-12. They were trying to do some things to get back there, and so they had Stanley Wilson in front of me, and then it was Stanley Wilson, me, and then Bill Johnson. But when I first came here, Bill Johnson had number 30, and that was the number I wore in college, so they gave me 31. Well, when they put me second team, Bill Johnson left camp, so I had to wear 31 the first 6 games, and then I got my number 30 during the 7th game. And when I got here, the Bengals offense was sort of the same offense that I ran at UNLV. And so I came in, just the terminology and things were different, but it was basically the same plays. So I felt real comfortable and home with the plays that they had here. And so that's why I was, successful, because I picked the plays up real well. And then we had me and James Brooks, who's an excellent tutor. He helped me through a lot of learning the NFL, learn the plays, learn the audibles and things like that you have to know when you get into the game. Certain words that the quarterback will say changes the whole play. So I learned that, and things just started to click. And I had the great offensive linemen like Anthony Munoz, one of the best tackles to ever play the game.
Go.
Max Montoya, Joe Walters, Bruce Kozerski, Bruce Reimers. Offensive line, man, we had a heck of an offensive line. So I had some big guys to run behind, man. And then our play action pass was off the chain. We had Eddie Brown and Tim McGee. So we had a lot of those guys who big play guys, man. And we had fun. And like I said, Coach, defense win championships. So, we didn't have a bunch of big name guys on defense, but they all played well together. And we had a couple of games in there where defense won the game for us at the end of the game, but I didn't let them score, so that was big. And we just went through that season, man, and we were a close-knit team. We hung out together. We did a lot of things together. And it was just, just a great atmosphere. The city was on fire like it is now, man. The city is back jumping. People are real happy about the Bengals, because it's been a while, Coach. They made it to the playoffs a couple of times, but they hadn't won a playoff game since I played back in the '90s.
Wow.
Back in the early '80s, the '90s, they've been to the playoff game, but they hadn't won a game since we done it in '90. So it's been a long drought here. We will hopefully get these guys, this team now that they have now, though. They have guys on there who have come from winning programs, so they know how to win.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Good
so
point.
These guys know how to win. They know what it takes to win, and they're putting it all together. They went out today and, they played a game where I thought that, they were going to get blown out. It was 14-0 before 5 minutes was gone in the game.
Wow.
But they buckled down, scored. And then they just slowly got back in it, stopped that Kansas City offense from that high power.
And that's
offense.
doing something.
Hard
They
start timing here.
slowed them down and was able to get a couple of third down stops and get the ball back for the offense. And offense got out there, and like I said, that young kid Chase, man, he had over 266 yards today on like 17 catches, man. He was out there killing them. But it was fun to see, and it's fun to be able to have something to root for.
Yeah, let me tell you, at quarterback in Joe Burrow, you're way better than you were in your rookie year with Boomer. That's a
Oh, no
plus for you.
doubt.
Eddie Brown was a
No
good
doubt.
receiver, but that kid from Cincinnati, what's the receiver y'all got from Cincinnati? The first round pick?
Chase?
Yeah, Jamar
Yeah.
Chase. He the
Jamar
real
Yes,
Chase.
deal.
Jamar
And
Chase.
that's a 1-2 combination that's gonna
Yeah.
serve the Bengals well for a good while, man.
Real well.
I'm excited about the Bengals in this tournament. Icky, man, right quick, please tell us about your foundation. I know you lost your son with
Yeah.
asthma. Tell us
Yeah, what?
about your work now and what you're doing for asthma research with
Right.
the foundation.
Well, what we do is I lost my middle son 10 years ago. He was 16 to an asthma attack. And so I started a foundation in his name called the Javante Woods Foundation. And Javante is spelled Jovante,
Okay.
woodsfoundation.org if you want to go to our website. But I started that in his name. And what we do is we go around the country educating people on how serious and severe asthma really is, because before this I never knew that you could die from asthma, and when I started doing some research, come to find out asthma is the fastest growing disease in America, and between kids from the age of being born to the age 19, asthma has risen 80% since 1981. And then 11 people a day die from asthma. Man, I never knew that. And so,
Icky, Javante was a chip off the old block, a heck of a
yeah.
running back in his own right?
Oh yeah. He was actually he was a quarterback. He played on the defensive side of the ball.
Okay,
But he
was a good high school football player.
He was a good all around athlete. Yes, he was. He probably would have been playing in the league now if he was still with us, because he had scholarship offers to a bunch of schools, and man, he was just a pure athlete, man. He was a great kid. Everybody loved him, man, and I was surprised that when we had his going home service, man, how many people showed up for that, man. You know, kids at his school. People talked about how great he was, what he things that he did for them, and you know what, Coach, I never knew it until they told me, what he did for them and how he helped them, and I was like, man, my baby was really, really loved, and he was a great kid.
So now, Icky, you have a website.
Correct.
Okay, and it's called the what now?
Sure, it's Jovante. It's spelled Jovante, woodsfoundation.org is the website.
All right. But now you also have set up a booth at the Bengals Stadium for your foundation, right?
Yeah, we go in there and we run a booth, a concession stand in there, and they give us a percentage of the proceeds goes to the foundation.
Great, man. Great.
Yeah.
Great. Well, listen, man. Congratulations to you on the work that you're doing in service to others through that foundation, just raising the awareness of asthma. And Icky, man, listen, bro, from the bottom of my heart, thank you for coming on my show, man. Listen,
thank you for having me,
dude.
I ain't seen you since I was like 2, Icky. It was good to see you again, man.
Boy, you didn't grow up, boy. You didn't grow up, boy.
I'm telling you.
You were 2 years old, Slim. You were 2 when one. You were 1.
Yeah,
1 years old when I was assistant at Cincinnati. We lived there. The last time you saw Slim to the day, he was 1.
Yeah, last time I seen him, he was
he was
1. It's been a minute.
Crawling around there with his big old head just bobbing everywhere.
Yeah. Yeah, man. In a little scooter chair. Hey, man. Love you, War Daddy. Love you too, brother. Sylvia good?
Yeah, Mom's doing great. She's doing
super, man. Cokie good?
She's actually down here with me now, Coach.
Man, please give my best to your mom. Hey,
I will.
All right, man. Love you, bro.
Definitely.
Thanks for being on the show.
Hey, man. Thank
you so much, Icky.
Appreciate you. I love both of you guys, man. Happy New Year's to you as well.
No problem.
All the best.
All right.
Bengals Nation. Take care.
All right, baby. Thank you. Appreciate it.
All right. Okay.
Man. Yo, Coach, that was crazy.
One of my favorite people in the whole world is that guy. So I'm gonna tell you something, partner. He for 1 year, let me tell you, bro, that guy could flat play the game, no question about it.
Imagine if you had a
Now
all three.
a hell of a player, and even more of that as a person, as a man, no question about it. Elbert Icky Woods, truly one of a kind. Ladies and gentlemen, it's time again for Slim's Pickings.
As National Signing Day approaches, all HBCUs in the FCS division, hear me well. The name of the game in recruiting is NIL. Name, image, and likeness, or new inducing language, whichever one you prefer. And as Dion proved, it can be done. HBCUs can recruit and win against Power 5 schools. Now, you may be asking yourself, how is this possible? Well, like my man Montel Jordan said, this is how we do it. As you look at these beautiful stadiums on these beautiful HBCU campuses, I ask you, what's missing? And I'll tell you, where is the corporate America sponsoring? I'm talking about KFC Kentucky Fried Chicken, Chick-fil-A, Popeye's Chicken. Just think about this, ladies and gentlemen. Black people eating fried chicken on an afternoon at a college football game. My, what a concept. Rest in paradise to the great Sam Jones. The North Carolina Central graduate was a member of the Naismith Memorial Basketball Hall of Fame and the NBA's 25th, 50th, and 75th anniversary teams. Mr. Clutch was one of 3 other Boston Celtics to win 8 consecutive NBA championships from 1959 to 1966. We respect you and we love you, Mr. Sam Jones. Stay tuned, sports fans. And that's Slim's Pickings.
Sam Jones, one of the greats of all time. Got a chance to meet him, get to know him when I was the offensive coordinator at Howard University, 1984. A lot of people don't know Red Auerbach set Sam Jones up with a Nike distributorship when he was done playing. And one of his clients was Howard University. And when Sam Jones would come to Howard, he'd come to the athletic office and we would sit around and chat, chew it up for hours. He said the secret to the Boston Celtics' success was Red Auerbach was a genius at making sure that they understood that separate, they weren't very good, but together they were unstoppable. He said that was Red Auerbach's genius. And Sam Jones was Sam, he was
Mr. Clutch, man.
Steph Curry before Steph Curry. He could flat fill it up. And a first class guy, no question.
Now, Coach, we did say that there were 3. The other 2 talking about K.C. Jones and, of course, Bill Russell.
The great Bill Russell.
The great
3
Bill Russell.
Together won 8 consecutive titles. How about that? No question. Mildred, NIL, you talked about it in your pickings, and I'd like to carry that just a little further. NIL. These HBCU ADs and college presidents need to understand. Dion has shown us the way. You can compete now and win against D1 schools in recruiting if you can deploy NIL, and you can't get NIL without corporate sponsorship.
Coach, okay? You know what I'd like to see? The great Jerry Rice played at Mississippi Valley State.
Right.
He also played at San Francisco 49ers.
Right.
The 49ers stadium is Levi's Stadium. Now, imagine if Jerry Rice got Levi's jeans to sponsor Mississippi Valley.
And thank you, Jerry Rice. Jerry Rice, get up off your fanny and get Levi's out to
To
Magnolia
Mississippi Valley.
Stadium on the campus of Mississippi Valley. Hugh Jackson, you've been a head coach in 2 NFL teams. You ought to have enough connection to get corporate sponsorship in Eddie Robinson Stadium on the campus of Grambling State University. If Eddie Robinson, the head coach at Alabama State, a successful businessman right here in Houston, Texas, had a very good career playing for the Houston Oilers. Now you're at Alabama State University. Slim, you showed Alabama State's pictures of that beautiful stadium at Alabama State. Eddie Robinson, you got to get corporate sponsorship in your nice stadium, Alabama State. Because finally, let me say this. If you can't get in the NIL market for recruiting, all you gonna have is an athletic budget. Mm-hmm. And if you're at a HBCU and all you got is an athletic budget, you still gonna be at the back of the bus. At the back of the bus.
Yep. Now, Coach, moving on with college football, had a whole lot of bowl games going on this past weekend. First of all, I want to shout out to Coach Mike Loxley and the Maryland Terrapins for putting a thumping on the Virginia Tech Hokies, Coach. 54-10. That was a bludgeon.
Yeah. And Mike, thanks for coming on our show. Keep an eye on that Maryland football program. Mike Loxley doing a hell of a job there.
Shout out, Coach Mike Loxley. Thank you so much again. Next game, Coach. Oklahoma. Bob Stoops comes back to coach his team, beating Notre Dame 37-35 in the Fiesta Bowl.
Yep. Had to be a big thrill for Bob to watch his son catch a touchdown pass in that game. Big thing with Oklahoma, Slim. If you're Caleb Williams, what are you going to do?
I stay
too. You stay at Oklahoma. You riding the momentum off the Alamo Bowl victory. And going into the 2022 season, Caleb Williams and Bryce Young going to be right there 1 and 2 for the Heisman Trophy. Mm-hmm. And also to be the first player to go in the draft. So that's going to be a close one to watch too.
So if Spencer Rattler gets 2 cars and all that money, imagine what Caleb Williams going to get.
Ain't no question. You stick around in Oklahoma because I know if Spencer Rattler got 200,000 in 2 cars, ain't no telling what Caleb Williams about to get.
Tell me about it. Oklahoma State, the Cowboys, they beat Notre Dame in the Fiesta Bowl, Coach. 35-37.
Big one for Mike Gundy, and congratulations on your win, Mike Gundy. Oklahoma State can say that's the biggest win in Oklahoma State football program
year for the Cowboys in general, Coach.
Mike Gundy beating the Sooners of Oklahoma and Notre Dame in the same season.
In the same
There's
year.
no question about it. Mm-hmm.
All right. Baylor over Ole Miss in the Sugar Bowl, 21-7.
Hell of a job of coaching by Dave Aranda. You tell, hey, 2020 season, you win 2 games. 2021 season, you win 12 games. Yes, but Dave Aranda. And I'll tell you something now, Dave Aranda's name was coming up on some of these more high-profile jobs. He turned them down. He stayed right there at Baylor. With Texas leaving and OU leaving, going to the SEC, Baylor could be the big boss in the Big 12 for years to come. No question.
The Buckeyes over Utah, 48-45 in the granddaddy of them all.
Ryan Day springboards off that in the spring practice with some momentum, and Lord knows they needed it. They looked soft as drugstore cotton against in the last 2 games, Utah and Michigan. But they muscled up, came back and played a great second half on offense and defense, and pulled out a big one in the Rose Bowl against Utah. No question.
Your boy Sam Pittman over Penn State, 24-10 in the Outback Bowl.
And you know what? Sam Pittman from El Reno, Oklahoma. He's a good old country boy from El Reno, Oklahoma. And he's up there in Fayetteville, where it's tough to get talent. But that's a good fit. Sam's a good fit. And I work with Sam at Cincinnati, and he's a good coach. And he got Arkansas a 9-win season. And a 9-win season at Arkansas, that's a hell of a job of coaching. No question.
Now, Coach, like I said, it's a rematch. Alabama beat Cincinnati. Georgia over Michigan in the Orange Bowl and the Cotton Bowl, respectively. Like I told you it was going to happen, we got another rematch.
Got another rematch. And we'll chop that up, Slim, big time, because that's on the 10th. We got another show. Show 20 will come up before that. So we'll chop that up big time. But put a gun to my head, Slim, I'm telling you, Georgia, I like to be right. I said all along, Alabama's the best team in the country. You win with defense. And boy, if Georgia can play like that on the 10th, hard to be the good team twice.
Yeah.
Hard to be the good team twice.
Very good. Very true. Very true. Pro football. Two games left before Black Monday. Who gets the axe?
I look for, Las Vegas already open.
Yep.
Jacksonville already open.
Yep.
I look for Minnesota. Pete Carroll, 70 years old. Russell Wilson gonna leave. I look for Seattle to come open. I look for Minnesota, Mike Zimmer to get it.
Chicago definitely.
Come on, please. Matt Nagy, Walking Dead. Ain't no question. He's history. They got it right at quarterback this time with that Fields kid, Justin Fields. And they gonna get a bright offensive mind in there to get that. This might be Eric Bieniemy's chance. They'll get an offensive guy there for sure. No question.
Giants possibility, Coach?
Yeah,
most definitely. Coach, pleasure to be in the studio with you again, man.
Always, man.
Hope you had a Merry Christmas.
Stay warm up there, man. Stay warm.
It's 19 degrees, Coach. I'm gonna try to.
I tell you what, man. I'm going here. Give me some of these leftover black-eyed peas. Get my feet up. Oh yeah.
You got Sunday night, Coach.
Okay, man. Take care. And finally, my dad taught me, son, our most precious possession in life, and it's the very thing that makes life so special, is that whether we ever come into the knowledge of it or not, we all share the same most valuable possession, and that would be time. In their 16-year existence, the Jacksonville Jaguars have hired 8 head football coaches. And in search of their 9th head football coach, they have retained Trent Baalke, the general manager, the same man who thought hiring Urban Meyer was a good idea. And it's time for a change with the Jacksonville Jaguars. It's time for the Jacksonville Jaguars to finally get it right. Jim Caldwell, in his 4-year run as the head football coach of the Detroit Lions, took the Lions to the playoffs twice and had a winning percentage of over 500. He is known as one of the best quarterback coaches in the National Football League. And hiring Jim Caldwell would give the Jacksonville Jaguars integrity, leadership, and credibility. That's something that they are in dire straits of after the Urban Meyer experience. Hire Jim Caldwell as head football coach of the Jacksonville Jaguars. It's sure enough time. And hey, that's how I see it. 6 o'clock, straight up and down.
Yeah, that's how we see it. And that's how it is.
That's how it is.
Thank God we get to do this again.
Thank God.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you guys so very much for tuning into this week's episode of HomeSpun Sports. Sports talk with a twist of down-home wisdom. Thank you again to Icky Woods for being our special guest on episode 19. It was a pleasure to have you in the studio again with us, sir. Rest in peace to John Madden and the great, iconic Betty White. You will sorely be missed. Don't miss to tune in next week, ladies and gentlemen, for episode 20. Make sure you guys hit the comments, you hit the like button, and you got that bell turned on so you don't miss any of our premium content when it comes locally to you. It's all for you. It's all live. It's all for real. Hey, Coach.
Yeah, man.
Let's go ahead and get up out of here like we came, man.
My brother, just like the last time. What he said. Hey. Well, all right.